As we all know, a mirror has two sides. One side of the mirror is reality, and the other side of the mirror is a reflection of reality. A mirror doesn't reflect half of you or 99% of you. It reflects everything about you. It doesn't show only the good sides of you or only the bad sides of you. It simply just reflects back to you what it's presented. Now, the mirror principle explains how life works in this exact way. Very simply put, what the mirror principle is, it's really just a new fancy modern term to describe an ancient spiritual teaching that explains that whatever is happening internally is being reflected in our external world. So in this mirror analogy, what this means is that the reality is our inner world. One side of the mirror is reality, which is our thoughts, feelings, and state, and the other side of the mirror is the reflection, which is the world that we live in. Our world is always mirroring back to us, reflecting back to us our thoughts, feelings, and state of being. So basically, that's what our world is in a nutshell. It is just a mirror of our internal world. In this video, I'm going to explain how we can control the mirror to take back the control of our lives. Stay tuned. Hey fam, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Rahosa, and if this is the first time that you're seeing my face, then welcome. It's so nice to have you here on the channel. I believe that we were all created to create the best world possible, and that begins with creating the best world possible for ourselves, so that way we have that full cup energy to be able to give to the world and the people around us. If you're interested on topics on spirituality, manifestation, self-development, then this channel is going to be your best friend. So make sure that you subscribe, hit that like button, and leave me a comment to let me know that you're a part of the fam. Now, I want to start this video off with a Neville Goddard quote because, as most of you know, I'm a huge Neville fan. I've read all 10 of his books, and I've summarized them all on this YouTube channel. What I love about Neville too is that, of course, the teachings that he teaches, they're not new. There is nothing new under the sun, but I feel he really brought a lot of ancient teachings and Kabbalistic teachings into modern day knowledge, wisdom that is being shared online, that is accessible to all, whereas in the past it was only accessible to a certain select group of individuals. So I'm really, really grateful that this information is so popularized and that it's so well known, because to have this information is so damn powerful. Anyway, the Neville quote is, "The world is the mirror magnifying all that I am conscious of being. Stop trying to change the world, since it is only the mirror. Man's attempt to change the world by force is as fruitless as breaking a mirror in the hope of changing and change your face. Leave the world alone and change your conception of yourself. The reflection then will be satisfactory." Okay, so what Neville is talking about here is this very concept of the mirror principle, or some call it everyone is you pushed out. It's really the same thing, carried in different packages of what we decide to label it, but at the end of the day, the concept remains the same, and that is that everything in our external world is a byproduct of our internal world. We can try and force the external world to change, but that is going to be fruitless, as Neville Goddard says. He says trying to change the external world is just as fruitless as when you look in a mirror and you don't like the reflection, and instead of changing the face, you try to change the mirror. What is that going to do? Life is just a mirror. So stop trying to change the mirror. Stop trying to change your reflection without first changing what's inside of you, because it is what is inside of you that is making those changes in your external world. The same way that a mirror is not causing the reflection, right? The mirror doesn't come up with the reflection on its own. There is a reality. There is something that is causing the mirror to reflect back a certain thing. So the same thing with our manifestations. Things don't just appear in our life and our reality out of nowhere, out of randomness. There is a cause, and the cause for our manifestations, the cause for what we're seeing being reflected back to us in the mirror, is what we're inputting into that mirror. This is our thoughts, our emotions, and our state of being. It's also important to note that a lot of what is being inputted into the mirror is subconscious, right? This is really, really important to know, because it can be easy to think that we have all the control and all the power to change the reflection, when that's not fully the whole picture, because there's so many beliefs and subconscious stories that are replaying that are going to manifest because we don't yet have the capacity, as we are limited in this human vessel, to be able to control control our entire consciousness. We still have a whole subconscious part of our minds that is still inputting into the mirror that is still going to be reflected back to us. What we can do, what we can take control of, is doing our part in changing our subconscious programs and our subconscious beliefs that are being reflected to us. But it's also important to know that that takes time. It's also important to know that we'll never be 100% perfect, and that's okay. What we can do is just bring awareness to this principle, awareness to this concept, so that day by day we work on shifting our consciousness, shifting the way that we think, the way that we feel, and our state of being on a consistent basis, so that our world consistently reflects back to us our new state, a desired state, a state that we're choosing, rather than just this autopilot, robotic, seemingly random set of programs, because we're not yet conscious of what we're inputting into the mirror. If we're not conscious of what we're feeding the mirror, we're going to get a seemingly random set of events happening in our world. But when we realize that everything happening in our world is a reflection, instead of blaming the outside world, we actually get to look within ourselves and say, in what way did I cause this? On what maybe subconscious level did I create this reality? And what this does is it inspires introspection, and introspection is what allows us to grow. And growth is what our soul came here for. There are studies that have been done, and I heard Dr. Joe Dispenza talk about this, how communities that meditate can actually lower crime rates. And once the meditators leave the city, the crime rates go up. Apparently this is a study, it's been measured. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about it. I don't know, but I believe it. Because our minds are so much more powerful than we think. And not just on the level of ourselves and what we manifest for ourselves, but in the way that we affect every single person around us. Even if you want to look at it in the ripple effect kind of way, the butterfly effect kind of way, how one action you do, one change in your personal consciousness affects the person that you speak to today, affects the 10 people that they speak to tomorrow, and so on and so forth. And everything that you do is significant, creates a ripple effect. When we understand this truly, we understand this concept of us all being connected. We understand that on a higher level, we are all one. We're all connected to this one source, and that source is connected to all of our consciousnesses. Then we also must understand how powerful it is for us to change our own consciousness. Because when we change our consciousness, this affects the collective consciousness of not only everyone around us, but the entire world. You are so much more powerful than you think. Don't rely on the government, the people around you, your family, your partner, to make you feel fulfilled, feel the feelings that you want to feel, to make you feel safe, to make you feel secure. Give yourself that feeling. It starts within, and when you can conjure up that feeling, your reality will change. It's funny how feelings, they cannot possibly come from another person. Your feelings can only come from you, because they are your feelings, right? Think about it. It's coming from your body. This means you can create feelings. We have it backwards by thinking that the change starts outside of us. No. It starts from within. It starts by changing our consistent thoughts, our consistent feelings. Kabbalah actually talks about and teaches how the leaders of this world are always going to reflect the collective consciousness of humanity. And we have to know that to change the collective consciousness, that starts at an individual level. That starts at a level of you realizing how powerful you are, how powerful your consciousness is, how you are the creator of your reality, how whatever you think your internal world, that's going to be reflected back to you. You kind of have to think of it in a sense like the whole world was created for you. It's just you and the universe. It's just you and the creator. That's how much power you hold, because if you shift your trajectory, you shift your life, you switch to a different timeline, you're shifting the entire world with you. And this is a very deep concept, very hard to wrap our minds around and understand, but the deeper you go into these studies, the more opening you'll get to understanding these concepts. But it's so important to know the power that you hold. You make a difference. You make all the difference in your reality, but in the reality of everyone else as well. Okay, cool. So we know all this information now. We know that reality is a mirror. How do we change the mirror? You might be thinking, all right, what do I now do with this information? And knowing that life is a mirror means that we don't look outside of ourselves to change our reality, to change our circumstances. We don't place the blame on other people, on our circumstances. We just take it as feedback on where we are internally. Where are we in consciousness? Where is our inner world? After we know, we have the awareness on where is our consistent thoughts and feelings, we get to make a decision on if we want to stay in that reality or if we want to work on changing our inner world and therefore our outer world. It's a choice that we get to make. This life is full of choices, and this is one of the most important ones. And every single day we are faced with a choice on if we want to change or stay the same. So first we need to become aware that there is a mirror, that life is a mirror. And then we need to work on changing the face, not the mirror. And truthfully, there are so many layers to it. Like I said in the beginning, how a mirror doesn't just show 99% of you. A mirror doesn't just show half of who you are. A mirror is going to show the entirety of who you are. So this becomes really tough because we're seeing being reflected back to us the entirety of who we are and the entirety of our belief systems, and that is a hard pill to swallow a lot of the times, and it's taking a lot of responsibility on how did I attract certain things. Again, it's never to beat yourself up. It is only meant to be feedback on, first of all, how you came into this world, the blueprint that you came into this world with. You cannot blame yourself or the world for the circumstances that you came into this world with. It's just purely feedback that you can use to take your power back and choose a new story for yourself. We observe the stories that are being reflected to us, the things that we see in our world, and now with this awareness that reality is a reflection, we get to change that story. And like I said, a lot of subconscious programmings are what is being reflected back to us. And we don't have conscious control over all of our subconscious programmings. That is due to years and years of programming, the way that we are brought up. So many circumstances affect that. And also past lives. If you believe in past lives, which I certainly do, I believe that we come into this life with a set of baggage, and Kabbalah teaches about this as well, called the Tikkun. Talked about it in a couple other videos as well. But basically, we come in with a certain level of baggage automatically. As soon as we're born, every single person has a different set of baggage that we come into this world with. So no, we cannot overcome every single subconscious belief and block that we have and change the mirror in every single way. But we do have control over a lot of it. We have control to change our subconscious programming in a lot of ways. Everything going on up here will be presented in our world. You see something in your world you don't like, you know where to go. It's not in the outside world, and that is the hardest part of manifestation because that is our natural tendency. We tend to think that's where we go to make the changes, but no. We start up here. It always starts within. Everything is significant. All we need to do is simply pay attention. Even conversations that you overhear, they can hold significance on what is going on in your internal world and provide us with valuable feedback on the stories that we're telling ourselves. So I'm gonna end this video off here. If you stuck it to the end of this video, leave a mirror emoji in the comment section to let me know you are still here, you're still watching. I love seeing the comments of the little emojis that I say to comment, so please do that. Also, please comment if you found anything valuable in this video. Let me know. That is all for me in today's video. Remember, life is a mirror of your inner world, so take control of your thoughts, take control of your emotions to the best of your ability, and you will see magic unfolding in your life. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.